Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Anthony with Edge on Regenerative Medicine Show. I have a special guest today, Dr. O'Brien at o'brienfamilychiropractic.com. Please check out this website. It is phenomenal. His focus is so much on the spine, the main thing that allows us to continue to walk, keep our back straight. He's up in I hope I'm going to say this correctly, Woodstock, Georgia. And today the topic is going to be on why you should get checked at least once a week by a chiropractor. Believe it or not, a lot of people do not get checked by chiropractors. And the reason why I'm passionate about it, because it took one chiropractor to change my entire life. And let me tell you something, I have to get checked. I don't like to use it for me for check. For me, I go get aligned at least once a week. And I have to. Anyways, thank you so much, Dr. O'Brien.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. Before we go into our topic, tell us a little bit about you, how you got into chiropractic. You and I talked a little bit about it. I loved how, from the movie, they started calling you Doc. Maybe we can start with that.
Okay. As a young adult, in late high school years, a bunch of friends of ours, we had Young Guns was one of our favorite movies, and so we all all started calling each other nicknames. Billy the Kid. I was given the nickname Doc.
Oh, boy.
This was long before I had even thought of becoming a chiropractor, even becoming any kind of doctor for that matter, and just was funny. And then years down the road, I was having some low back pain, and someone talked me into going to chiropractor, which most people do, and I was a stubborn young man, and I was like, for what? I've been to the best doctors. They're not doing anything. What's this guy going to do? He's just neck doctor or whatever. So I finally got to go in and get adjusted, go in, and he explains everything. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it out. As I'm walking out of the first visit and the first day of getting adjusted, I started having, I had numbness in my left pinky for years. It was I'm pretty sure from the military. And, I'm walking out of his office and it starts to tingle and it's feeling funny. And of course, in my head, I start to freak out a little bit and think that I'm about to have a heart attack. Left hand change, the chiropractors are dangerous. They're going to kill you. And I'm thinking, my luck. Here I am. I'm not going to. But needless to say, 30 years later, I'm still here. But that numbness went away. And I was like, interesting. I'm like, my back pain's still there, but this numbness got better and I could feel my pinky again. So I was like, I'll stick it out. After a few months of care, the low back pain was getting better, but my overall health started getting better. My migraine headaches that I had suffered from 3 or 4 a week disappeared.
Wow.
And that's what really drove my attention to it. I'm like, what are you doing to me, man? Nothing in my life has changed. I still drink alcohol just about every day. I eat like crap. And the only thing I've changed is seeing you. What are you doing? He kind of laughed about it. And he says, well, I think it's time for you to go down to the seminar. And I start laughing. I'm like, I'm not going to a seminar. I have nothing. I'm not looking to buy anything. I just want to know what you're doing to me that my migraines just went away. I'm no longer dependent on Advil.
Wow.
So he took me down to the seminar that I still attend to this day. We call it Dynamic Essentials, and just keeping the purpose and the principle of chiropractic alive, where taking pressure off the nervous system so your brain and body can communicate better. And get to the seminar, and that's all it was. It wasn't, they weren't trying to sell me anything. They weren't trying to do anything. It was just nothing but love and spreading the story of chiropractic.
Basically gave you the understanding.
Right. And I'm like, I want to do this. This is crazy enough for me. Like, these guys are nuts, but this is cool. I want to do it. So it took me down that journey. And it's been an exciting journey, and wouldn't change it. It wasn't an easy journey. But
wow.
Yeah.
What would you say why you see there's a lot of people that are, I would say, scared of a chiropractor? I mean, I've heard actually some older people, and that I'm really good friends with. And I've had some that are like, well, my back last time I went, it just didn't feel right. And I'm like, I go every week. I don't understand. What are your thoughts on that for people that are?
If they're going to their chiropractor and they're not, and they think it's all about how you're feeling, they're probably not in the right chiropractor, because it's really not about how you're feeling. Like, for instance, my low back, I still deal with some aches and pains down there. The whole reason I went to a chiropractor, right? And here I am, a chiropractor, giving back to the community what it did for me, even though I still have my aches and pains, because it's not about how you feel, it's about how you function.
I like that. Hey, that was a good pun. I'm giving back. Anyways. Oh boy, I should have
unintentional.
I should have pushed the button on the drums on there. Kind of like Frank Sinatra style.
Right.
Wow. So one of the things that caught my eye, I was looking at your social media. I'm a huge fan of chiropractors, regenerative medicine, neurologists. I love all that fun stuff that's going to make your body feel better and function. But the thing that caught my eye, I saw you on Facebook when you were talking about, you should at least check once a week, and how. So what I hear you saying is that, you think that at least once a week, you should at least see a chiropractor, or you said the word checked. What's the difference here? Because you and I were kind of talking about that.
The adjustment is actually getting the hands-on, or some docs now have instrumentation to do it, but getting the hands-on the person and actually removing the interference, what we call subluxation.
Right.
That's the adjustment. Getting checked is going in, seeing if you are holding your adjustment, if the criteria is there to give that adjustment. If it says no, you're holding, you don't need an adjustment, you're not going to get adjusted. We're going to say, have a great day, we'll see you next week.
Oh, okay. So what would you say now for me, I know it's a little bit different. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I know that if I miss a week, I'm in bad shape. There's we've got a lot of people out there that struggle with scoliosis. I'm one of them, which tightens the back a lot more. People that work full time, since we've had the COVID, we've got a lot more people that are working from home. So now there's going to be more of the tension here, and a lot of people don't understand, why am I getting the numbness? Okay, well, let's look at a few things. Are you drinking a lot of coffee? Are you sitting at a desk all day? And are you seeing a chiropractor? And that's what I think that's why I believe people should at least get adjusted once a week, especially depending on the type of work that they do. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. Again, the choice of words is getting checked. Most people need an adjustment. I've seen very few that someone comes in, we have stresses throughout our life, emotional, physical, and mentally.
Especially these days.
Just your own thoughts can throw your spine out of alignment. It puts tension on your muscles.
Wow.
Those muscles starts to pull and tight, and just especially your trapezius up here in the neck, and just open those up, work on the posture, and your whole life changes.
I would have to agree. And, for someone that has scoliosis and it's fighting it, I say fighting it because every day I have to stretch. I drink at least a gallon of water a day. I'm watching what I eat. And just recently, my wife said to me, and I see a chiropractor once a week. My wife said to me, she goes, your neck is a lot more straighter. What are you doing? I go, one, I'm seeing a chiropractor consistently. And I go, and number two, I'm doing my part. A lot of people don't realize that a chiropractor can help you feel better, take you out of pain. But if you're not doing your part, doing your stretches in the morning, right, doing your walks and eating right, you're going to be in a lot of pain. And ever since I started doing that, oh my gosh, I'm so much better. One of the things that I've noticed that's a misnomer is people don't understand. I noticed that a lot of chiropractors are utilizing different names than just saying they're a chiropractor, because a lot of people don't understand chiropractic. So they use wellness. Oh, we're a wellness center. I don't know if you've noticed that, because people are either one, scared of chiropractors, or two, they don't understand. They think it's some old school thing from the 50s.
Wilkes Booth. You hear about that case where the AMA was trying to destroy chiropractic, and that was huge, and once Kid Rock, I heard him do an interview once.
Yeah.
And it really stuck with me what he said here, and it just kind of rings with chiropractic too. Is once that information gets out to the public, whether it be true or not, like
Correct.
someone saying something bad, he was talking about something that was said badly about him. He says it doesn't really matter after that, because they're not gonna, no matter what kind of information or proof or anything you bring to them, their brain is already stained from that information. So it's still a battle we're fighting, and it really eats me up when people are like, oh, like, I don't, there's no secret code between chiropractors where we're like, we will refer you to people that get adjusted. When we refer, they don't go, oh, here's your money. Now sometimes I feel that's what people are like, oh, you're just like, I gain nothing by referring you to a chiropractor in Washington.
Like, I'm
I
trying to
don't get
help
any
you.
kickback.
I'm trying to help you. Exactly.
Your life is the one that's going to change, and enjoy. A woman that I saw when I first moved here in Georgia came in, and I offered to the people that were there in the office before I bought it a free initial visit or adjustment, and she came in and got one adjustment, and it's been almost 3 years. She came in 2 weeks ago, was having pain in her face, trigeminal neuralgia, but also having a lot of neck pain. So she's like, I need to start getting checked again. Checked her, definitely, all the signs said she needs an adjustment, especially at the Atlas. And I cleared her. She left, and I don't let you leave the office until you're clear or holding your adjustment. And she came in 2 weeks later, actually yesterday, and she goes, pain's gone. She goes, it's something that's been there almost 2 years that I've been dealing with. And she goes, the real test is going to be wintertime, because the cold really gets to me. But whatever you did 2 weeks ago it's gone, and I can't thank you enough.
Wow, that's amazing. See,
and
I love that.
That's where those are the things that, your back and neck pain is good side effects. It, helps, great side effects, but seeing things that nothing else would help her with is really humbling, and
no, I mean,
why I do what I do.
And I love that. Let's talk a little bit about that now. Can you maybe talk a little bit about some of the main side effects that you've noticed that people are getting that do not get adjusted?
That do not get adjusted?
That do not. We'll do one on do not, and then the ones that do.
It's going to be the just opposite of each. People that don't are usually dependent on a lot of medications, sick often, not sleeping very well, having just digestive problems. Everyone's a little different. Headaches, it's just part of my life. It's normal. I take these and my headaches go away.
Exactly.
And how much are you on those pills for the rest of your life? Speaking of a guy who used to eat Advil like it was candy and had it in every room or place that I could possibly think of, and my workstation, in my car, in my bathroom, in my kitchen, there was bottles of Advil because of the migraine headaches, and that was the only drug that would get rid of them until I found chiropractic.
Wow.
And I can say I haven't had I don't drink alcohol anymore, but I haven't had a headache, non-self-induced one, in over probably 15 years.
That's amazing.
It's wonderful. Get the pressure off this thing up here, the brainstem, and life changes.
What do you think about people doing their own chiropractic? I've seen people where they actually get their head and they just, to me, I'm scared of doing that. I'll never do that. I'm good. I'm scared. Listen, when I go to a chiropractor, I'm like, okay, I got to stay loose.
Right.
I don't want to, do you know what I'm talking about, where people are doing it themselves? I'm thinking that's kind of dangerous. Would you say?
Yes. And then they wonder why they get hurt or why they're having so many problems. If you're just stretching and it goes, and you hear the pop, because the pop, the crack, the whatever you want, the audible, the sound, the words crack is a bad word. I don't like that, like using it. A lot of chiropractors don't, but the sound isn't the adjustment. The adjustment, there might not even be a sound in there, but if you're just stretching and you hear a pop or you hear the sounds kick, that's perfectly fine. You get in there and you start to rank and twist and pull your head, you're going to have problems down the road. There's no doubt in my mind that there's 100% you're going to have problems. As of now, no. 10, 15 years, good possibility. Some osteoarthritis, just wear and tear on those joints. because you're not doing it right.
I have a, correct me if I'm wrong, doctor. I really believe that there's going to be an influx of more people going to see a chiropractor in the next 5 years. And the reason why I say that, I'm not saying my exact years right on, but we'll just say between 2 to 5 years. Look at the phones. The phones are forcing us to look down, and people are not, of course, they're not wanting to look up. So us doing that, we're actually putting strain on the neck, which
Absolutely
is pain, which starts to bring numbness. And then, of course, most people are addicted to something, whether it's a Red Bull or coffee, whatever it may be. What are your thoughts on that? Am I far off, or what do you think?
No, you're absolutely right. And once those aches and pains get there, you're far into the process. You can, I always use cavities as an example. That cavities in there chewing away your teeth for years, and then all of a sudden you take the bite of that apple and you don't blame the apple for the cavity, just like you've been down. Oh, it's like this, bent down to tie my shoe and I threw my back out. No, you don't. You don't throw your back out. Bend it down.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a
build-up.
Something that's been going on for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
Once the aches and pains come, unless it's a blunt trauma, I hit you with the baseball bat. Those aches and pains are things that have been there for a long time. Even symptoms like a kidney problem or a liver problem. Those things don't just happen overnight. Those things are brewing over years and years and years. That symptom is the last thing to arise to say, hey, you need to wake up and take care of yourself. This thing knows what it's doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I like how you use the word checkup instead of just saying you need to go see a chiropractor, meaning you have to get adjusted once a week. Now,
right.
In my brain, I'm not a doctor, far from it. Close to a lot of doctors. That doesn't make me a doctor, though. It's like me saying, hey, if I hang out with Hondas, I'm a Honda. But my point is, for me, I'm thinking for someone like in my type of case, I think everybody's different case by case. Some people need to see a chiropractor 100. Once a week. Period.
100%.
100%. And then the way we sleep these days, I mean, I'm hearing doctors say sleep with a pillow, don't sleep with a pillow. I know that you're going to laugh, but one, I don't sleep with a pillow, and number two, if I do, you're going to laugh. Those little baby blankets. It sounds weird, but I'll get a baby blanket and I use it as my pillow because it's so thin, but it doesn't do anything for me. But it's more of a mental thing because we're trained pillows, but when we use a pillow, we got to go see a chiropractor right away. It's out of line. What are your thoughts on that?
The pillow is really not going to be what throws you out of alignment there. It's your, the stresses that you put on your life. If if you're a side sleeper and you got a pillow and your head's concorded like this all night, you're going to cause aches and pains. Or if there's not enough there,
you got
sleeping on your stomach is the worst unless you have like a chiropractic table where you can breathe. Yeah. But sleeping on your stomach, you can't sleep this way. So we sleep with our head rotated. And now you're sleeping like this all night and just putting strain on one side of the neck while you're trying to sleep. That's what's, it's not the pillow. Again, it's the brain and the body know how to do it. It's what's going on outside of that.
Okay. I never thought about that.
Like your scoliosis, for instance,
correct.
That's going to cause, your whole body to be off a line. So I got a question for you about that. Have you taken x-rays when you first started as the now? Are you seeing an or a decrease in that curvature?
It's funny you say that. I did take an x-ray with my doctor, and I see it. We see that it's actually curving more straight. Before I was more, the reason why it's getting better though is because of the stretches and I'm being more proactive.
Right. So well, you're getting adjusted on a regular basis too.
Yeah. A matter of fact, I think I might get adjusted today. I just love I know that sounds funny, but I drink my water and go get me adjusted.
Right. Well, we talk about 5 factors of health: good, healthy diet, which includes your water, rest, sleep, and meditation. You got to quiet yourself and get there. Yep. Daily exercise, healthy diet, positive mental attitude, and keeping your nervous system, aligned, and that's where chiropractors come and play there.
I love it. How do you get adjusted once a week?
I get checked at least once a week, and
I love
I
you. All
don't.
checked.
There's not a chiropractor. There's not a chiropractor I know that doesn't get their spine checked at least once a week. And most of the time, I am getting adjusted. There's been only probably a handful of times in my life of almost 30 years of being checked and adjusted is that I didn't need an adjustment.
I like that. Checked.
And the longer you hold those adjustments, if you're not getting checked, you're just going to another level as far as your neurology, your body, and just it's constantly regenerating new tissue. It doesn't really heal itself. What it does is replaces it with new tissue. It sheds the bad, replaces it with good. So what are you feeding your body mentally, physically, and spiritually? The better you put in, the more you put into your body good things, the better you have results. And
you know what?
Just your attitude and the way you approach, and I can see with your energy, you keep a positive attitude most of the time. And to me, that's one of the most important out of that 5 factors is that positive attitude. You can have a healthy diet, but if your attitude's like, this food sucks, I hate this life, blah, 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 it's not doing you any good.
You got the 3. I call it the Trinity. You've got the spiritual, you got the physical, then you've got the mental, and those have to function very well. And that's why I'm actually agreeing with you on that, on just the word check. I was kind of, I'll be honest with you. At first, I was like, why would you mean check? And now I'm thinking about it. No, it's smart to use that word because there's sometimes I'll go in and I really don't need to be adjusted once in a blue moon. But what if I go in and I'm being checked? It's like a car. If you bought a brand new Porsche, are you going to be checking on that all the time? Yes, you would be, because of how much you put into it, what it costs. You love that vehicle. And the sad thing is 98% of the people do not look at themselves that way. And they should be getting checked, because you only got one vehicle right here. This is only one.
Absolutely. Are you putting water and gas into that Porsche? Or are you putting in nice, good fuel?
Pepsi, Coke, French fries. You know, I mean, and then you're like
that Porsche.
I know how you're like, you go out to eat at the fast food, you're like, I just feel slow. I just need to take a nap. I just think I need to catch. No, you don't need to do anything. The problem is what you're eating. This isn't I always say this. I don't remember Back to the Future. Remember when he was putting banana peels in it? I go, this is not the Back to the Future car where you can just put, some food in there, regular food. But
flux capacitor.
Hey, the flux capacitor. It's funny. My wife looked at me. She was like, are you really going to buy that? And I said, look, it's a childhood thing. I go, I probably won't. But let me tell you, they have the new DeLorean. It just came out. My gosh. Unbelievable. Anyways,
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I said I'll have to wait a couple of years to get that. Maybe go work at McDonald's for the next 80 years. But anyways,
they're paying 15 plus an hour nowadays.
Hey, over here they're paying close to 20, man. I'm like, wow. I don't understand it, but that's another show.
Right.
But Dr. O'Brien, I just want to say thank you so much for being here on the show. I love your passion for adjusting people. And what a lot of people don't know is that God gave us these 2 hands. And this is why I love chiropractors. They know they have healing in their hands.
Yeah. And
let's get the doctor and put him over here. And let's look at truth, my friends. God gave a gift, other people. And if we all just started to help each other out and start to realize and stay away from all the negativity and start to realize that our body was created to heal.
Absolutely.
And other bodies, when they connect, there's a synergy. You can use the word energy, but let me tell you something. I've seen some awesome stuff. So my passion, everyone out there, get checked at least once a week. You're worth it. And if you have to say, well, I can't afford it. I can challenge you that when you go out to eat, you don't say that when you're paying $30 for a vodka. But anyways, that's another,
or that medical bill that you're in the ER room because your kidney or something went bad, and
people don't think about
to get checked once a week.
People don't think about that. Like, you're going to get bitten. You're going to get bit somewhere, and it's going to come get you. So it's better to get the tune-up, get the checkup, and because if you're saying you're saving money by not going, you're actually costing yourself a lot more. You don't want to go in when you're like 70, 75 and you're like, I've been
Right.
dodging chiropractors and just doctors period for 30 years. But
Right.
thank you so much, Dr. O'Brien, for being here on the show. It was a pleasure. I love having I call it new blood, new doctors on the show just to see where their flow is going. So everyone, you can see Dr. in Woodstock, Georgia at o'brienfamilychiropractic.com, o'brienfamilychiropractic.com. And again, thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you. It was great. It was a pleasure.